Well, I thought I'd stop in my tracks here for a moment and show y'all what I'm working on in my garage here before the winter sets in. I am making a hoist to lift my legs. It's like a cherry picker for an engine to lift my legs up, and my wife used it to get me into bed so she doesn't have to break her back anymore, trying to lift my big feet off the ground, my heavy legs. So I've come up with a schematic, and I put it on my tablet and in my head, and I'm trying to put that dude together, and this is what I got going on. The red thing there is a winch that I can plug into the wall, works off of house current, and you can see my drill and my messy workbench, and just to the left of the yellow box is my tablet, which I use for my radio. This deal here is a cart that I made last year, in which I put my belt sander and my bandsaw on. It's got big old wheels on it so I can tote it around and pull it here and there. And I've been using the bandsaw to put some beveled edges on my wood, and bandsaw was using to cut some pieces. And back here on my Workmate workbench, last year I put a tabletop on it, and so I could put my sliding compound miter saw on it and do some work. And the white table, if you see that big slit right there at the side, it runs the length of that, and I use that for cutting long boards, long sheets with my skill saw, my circular saw, and I clamp the wood piece down with a straight edge, and that groove is where that blade runs through the wood. And instead of using a table saw, I use circular saw. That way I can turn it off, move or run it, cut some wood, stop it, slide up with my wheelchair, cut some more, move up with my wheelchair, cut some more, and move up my wheelchair. And that comes off. That's C-clamped onto my Workmate workbench, and this is my compound miter saw on it. And you can see some wood that I've been cutting on it. And then back here, behind it, I have my shop vac, and it's hosed up and plugged into the back of my saw, and it collects, gosh, about 98% of the sawdust. Some of it gets on the floor and on the back here, but it's not blowing all over everything. That little guy there is a little shop vac that I bought beginning of summer here to help suck up sawdust and stuff, while my big vacuum is hooked up to that deal. Down here on the floor, I just finished putting the last wheels on this. This is the bottom of the hoist I'm making, and the open end is the front, and here on the back you can see that the bottom part that's connecting the two rails, that is underneath two 2x2s that I glued together and screwed together and made the legs. And then I used a 2x2. This is all being built with 2x2s. So in the middle of that piece there, I am going to connect a 5-foot tall piece that's going to rise up in the middle. Hang on. And I'll take more video of that one as I progress here, but then it'll come up this way. Then there'll be an arm that goes out. It'll come up this way, and then there'll be an arm that goes out that way, which the winch will be attached to the bottom of it, and Joe will lower the hook down. I'll put a strap around my ankles, clip a couple D-rings into the hook, lift up my feet. The casters are on the front, and so this thing can turn on the dime. She can then turn it, shove this thing underneath the bed. Hopefully my feet will follow along. She'll lower my feet down, disconnect it, put it out of the way, walk around, pick up my feet, pull them on the rest of the bed. So hopefully this will be something that will save her back and some agony that she just doesn't need to go through. So anyways, yep, this is my little workshop, my garage. I get to use it for about another month, as this is the beginning of August. And that's the groove I was talking about. It runs the length there, the big thick groove that I use for my circular saw. Works great. I did a lot of cutting with that last year when I put it together. So yeah, the cars have been exiled for a little while. I got to finish this job up here hopefully this week. And then I'll get things squared away. I got to fix mailbox. And then we'll get cars back in the garage. It's 12:45 in the morning. I've been out in the garage working. And anyways, I just thought I'd show you what's going on. Love you, Mom and Dad. And I'll talk to you real soon. Love y'all. Bye-bye.